at home, I was never supported. Actually, my parents never support my art. They wanted me to go to school and go to university and do business skills or IT or whatever they had in mind for me. And I didn't want to do that. Art was the only thing I wanted to do. I'm quite an introvert person, so to me, art was more like a getaway place. It's where I could just be on my own and express myself and how I feel. Whether I'm angry, whether someone made me angry in the family or at home, art would always ease the mind and the pain. So that's how I took art since I was a kid. My name is Bonginkosi Mavuso. I'm a visual artist and a photographer, and I was born in Soweto in 1988. I grew up in Pimville, raised by my mother and my grandmother. So when I was a kid, actually I went back and forth to my grandmother's house and my mother's house, which is in Pimville and in Meadowlands. And after some time, my mom passed away actually when I was 12 years old in year 2000. And since then, that's actually when I started going deep into art. My first interaction with art was at school. I did a whole lot of drawings in school. I drew for my friends. I did school projects which included drawing for a couple of my friends, which they had to pay for that. So that was encouraging for me as a young man who loved art. And as I grew older, I went more into art and I met people who introduced me into different types of art and different skills of art. I had a friend who gave me a couple of comic books. So I loved tracing those comic books and characters from the comic book. That was way back, late 90s, around 97, 98. So my love for drawing, I got used to drawing and painting. So that's where the love grew. And even worse, I went to libraries and I studied and I got hold of art books. I was quite curious actually about art and I wanted to learn more. And I was intrigued by these European artists and how they did it. And I wanted to do the same, actually, even excel at some point. So that in turn led me to study and I am self-taught. So that was way before going to school. I went to libraries, I studied other artists' work, I copied other artists' work. That's what made my skill grow. And I started learning different mediums. Instead of drawing on pencils and charcoals, I went into pastels and I went into watercolors and oil paint. And so I became more versatile with my style. That's when I started learning even more about art and engaging myself with different kinds of people in the industry.
So angikanibuza mlo. Oh, namaframe yawayenza.
Hayi, amaframe
Awayenza.
Yeah.
So uyawathenga. Oh, kunalawo wathenga khona.
Yeah.
Mina ngiyakwazi ukuwayenza ama-frame.
Oh, yawenza uhlala khona na?
Mina ama-frame ufuna A3,
Yeah.
ufuna A4. Lawa ama-painting angithi wadrawayo lawa.
Yeah.
Nginawo nami plan ukuthi lama-painting singawenza kanjani, singawa-supply kanjani futhi.
What made me believe I can make it as an artist is strictly the passion that I had. Yeah, the passion was the only thing that I needed to drive me towards the goal or what I wanted. So I started working on that very early, quite early. I started marketing my work. I started creating professional portfolios, started handing out my portfolios to art galleries, and I mean, I defied the norm of most people, and most of my art is collected overseas, which is quite a good thing, which is something spectacular, and I've worked that hard to make my work that visible and worth acquiring by a lot of people actually, and international clients. There are galleries which are quite big and galleries which represent big names. So if I approach such galleries, most of the time I get rejected because of me being an upcoming artist. I'm not yet well established like the big artists in the country. So that's mostly the discouragement that I get from galleries. But now I've come across quite a small hub of upcoming galleries which are ready to represent young and upcoming artists. One gallery that I collaborate with at the moment is Native Gallery. Actually, this is a recent collaboration because the gallery has just opened 2 months ago. And another gallery is called Ubuntu Gallery, which is in Melville. And I have most of my work at hotels and restaurants, which are also up for sale there. And I mostly post my work online. That's where I get to market and advertise my work. Most people see the work from there. Most gallery owners see the work from social media, and even restaurant owners and hotel owners see the work from there, or maybe they can get recommendations from someone else. There's a guy, actually, Brother Bob Naming, who passed away in April. He was the founder of Soweto Lip Down Youth, which is called Sky. I worked with him for a couple of years, working with the kids, doing workshops with the kids, art-related workshops. So Brother Bob was quite an interesting person because he had a whole lot of connections and he had a whole lot of people coming to him for advice, people coming to him to donate stuff for his organization. So that's when I met some of the hotel owners and restaurant owners through Brother Bob. I actually do 2 types of genres. One is portraits and the other is landscapes. I paint landscapes of the current place where I stay, which is in Kliptown. So all the landscapes that I paint are places which I know, places which I've been at, and places around the community. The landscapes actually are inspired by a lot of township artists, like your Jurant Sihlali, William Koboka. Actually, it's quite a handful. I can't remember them at the moment, but it's quite a handful of artists which are very inspiring. They did most of their work during the 60s, the 70s. So I gather information on those artists and look at the styles and look at the environment they paint, and it's quite interesting because it's part of history painting. What they painted back then recorded the history of that time, as I'm recording the history of this current time. people with blue hair. To me, the color blue is a sign of royalty, wisdom, and intelligence. So representing these black melanated people with blue hair, which like deep symbology in them. To me, that's the style that I wanted to represent right after I strayed away from Western art. Because before I did these types of painting, I used to paint a lot of white people because it was by instinct. That's all I knew by that time. So as I started learning and I started learning different techniques, I mean, I couldn't paint a brown person. It was quite difficult to mix browns and do a black person and do a painting of that, but it was quite easy to do a light-skinned person or a pale person. So yeah, I started learning such things and I transformed and I just dwelled more into that, which is my current style now. As an artist, I feel there's a way that I can give back to the community. So I usually do workshops, art-related workshops, in the township which I stay in Kliptown, and in Randburg, at a school in Randburg. But most of my workshops are with children, young kids, just to instill that creativity in them, and just to show them how easy and simple things can be through art. To me, art is very important, especially in the community. Mostly my concentration is with the kids, the children, because they are the future. So grooming the kids and showing them and teaching them the fundamentals, not only of art, but other aspects of life, other aspects of creativity, other industries as well, whether it be business or marketing. Just groom kids from a young age. That's the most important thing. So in my experience, I think art is a getaway tool for children, especially in disadvantaged backgrounds. My studio becomes like a getaway space for them. When they come here, they go away from everything that happens. They forget about anything that happens outside, even at their homes, whether their parents are shouting at them and all that. So they tend to forget about that and concentrate on art. And you can see it through their art, actually. So to me, that is extremely important. Art can be used as a tool, actually, a psychological tool to calm down the kids, and even not even the kids only, just to show people a different perspective within that disadvantaged community. Art can bring color and it can bring light within the community.
Uncle, why don't you give me this charger?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Tom Morrison. Hi, Tom Morrison. Hi, Tom Morrison. Hi, Tom.